Hi there, Gemini. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you could join me. This is Yetta Pearl, and I'm here with your angel reading for the week of July 19th through 25th of 2021. Funny, when I'm saying that out loud, often, I don't know if my thoughts just go out elsewhere by the time I'm saying 2021. One day I said 2011. And just now I felt like saying 2018. It's so weird. And so maybe you are in a cycle. Hey, hang on. Yeah. Maybe you're in a cycle, and that the last time you went. So when we're, learning new things and getting deeper into ourselves and knowing ourselves better, it's, we think of it kind of as, you learn that and you're done with it. But that's not actually true. What happens is it's kind of a spiral, and you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the same thing. And so each time you get around a full cycle, then you're deeper into the thing. And maybe you're facing it again, but in a much deeper way. You already know so much, and sometimes it feels like, oh my gosh, I have to start this again. No. You're just being reminded kind of it, of everything that you did already go through to get to this point. And so it's possible that when the wrong year comes out, it's possible that you are cycling deeper into the knowing. So it'll feel maybe a little familiar, maybe a little like, oh, not again, but definitely it's different, and it is deeper, and you're learning more and more and more, and you're clearing more and more of the old stuff. So that's how that works. Anyway, okay. So let me have a good look at these cards here first. Okay. Oh, very good. Hang on one second. So this has been kind of a theme with many of the signs readings this week. You're at the end of a cycle. And so it's something that's coming to fruition. You know what? I think I might remember this from you from last week too, that you're getting to the end of this cycle, and you have some choices to make. To make your decision, ask yourself, which way brings me closer to my divine purpose? Which way takes me away from it? So it feels so much like you just have different avenues available to you, and it's completely up to you which direction you go. Your angels are saying every road will bring you to your destiny. It's just, how hard do you want the road to be? Or how easy do you want the road to be? That's what it is. So the completion of a cycle. Here we are now in this spiral. Just what I was saying. You're going deeper into this. Every time you revisit this, you go deeper into it, and you get to choose again. Are you staying with what you've been doing? Has that been working really well for you? Or have you been thinking that that's time for it to be over? So either way, no matter what, there is something that's coming to an end. And so you're getting to choose whether you begin again on kind of the same trajectory path, or whether you go off completely onto something different, something new. And the only person who can know which is the best for you right now is you. You will get the opportunity to revisit this again in the future, just as you have had the opportunity to revisit it in the past. Some of you, it's things like job or career, it's home, household, whatever. It is relationships. It's like it feels quite important in the scheme of your life. Sometimes these kinds of things just feel like they could be just a speed bump, no big deal, really. But this feels quite significant for you. And so it's time again to make the choice, knowing full well that the choice to break away completely and go on a new path really creates changes also for the people around you, right? And is that better also for them? The main question, though, because this is your question, this is your life. So the main question is this where you want to go, or is this where you want to go? Either way, you're kind of launching and you're starting afresh with a new perspective, right? So, yes, either way, feel reassured that this is not, the last time that you get to make this decision. So that really means that there's no doing it wrong. You can't do it wrong. It's all going to come out right in the end anyway. So it's time to take a little break. It feels like not quite vacation time, but it could be for some of you. Take a break, take a breather. Like they're just giving me this need for a big deep breath. and be able to relax, get the tension out of your shoulders and your jaw. Rest. You need some rest. You've been going 7 different directions all at one time. You know what? Be nice to yourself. Be nice to yourself. You deserve a break. You deserve some of this care and attention that you've been giving to everybody else and everything else. It's time. Yeah. It feels like the release of tension. So the break could be not necessarily the physical break, not necessarily a vacation, maybe not even an afternoon alone, although that would go far towards helping you with this time, right? But it's almost like a change in perspective, the way you're thinking, so that things that up until now have been very stressful for you, you can change your perspective and make it not yours. Because a lot of this tension and stuff is not actually yours anyway. They're just showing me that you've been taking that on. It's other people's stress. It's other people's things that that they need to take responsibility for, that you've been taking on because you want to save them from that or something like that. Or that you're just used to doing that. For some of you, that's what it is. It's time to put the responsibility for those things where it squarely belongs, which is on the other person whose responsibility it rightfully is. So, and that does assist them, because they need to learn how to take that. They need to know how to do this without you, because it's not up to you to do this. It's up to them to do this. So you've spent a bunch of time teaching them or doing it for them or whatever. Now you're handing it over. It's theirs. It's no longer yours. It feels very much like this kind of a change in perspective and a releasing of things that are not yours and never were to begin with. So Archangel Metatron is one that I work with daily, and he is really good at clearing out things that do not belong to you. Now, you don't have to do it this way, but this is how I do it. This is a piece of selenite. There are many different sizes and shapes and pieces of selenite. I use this just because, I acquired it several years ago, and I ask Archangel Metatron to clear the energy in this place, in this spot, and as I wave the selenite, which is also a clearing crystal. Now, you could use, there's differing opinions on this. If you are indigenous, you can use sage. If you have acquired it in an authentic way, then perhaps you also can use the sage. Cedar is also a good one for clearing. There's many others. I used to, before I had the selenite, I used to just create friction within my hands, which is extra energy, right? And then I would beam out scrubbing bubbles. It's that there's a cleaner called scrubbing bubbles. You spray it on and you leave it and it slides down and it cleans everything as it goes. And so I would beam this all up at the ceiling and the tops of the walls and everywhere, all around the whole room. And I would just let it scrub on its way down. And by the time it was finished, the room was clear. And so, you can do that for people and for yourself, definitely for yourself. And clearing out all the stuff that's not yours, that just needs to be cleaned away, right? And like I said, with Archangel Metatron, who uses color and geometric shapes and, sacred geometry to do the clearing. And it works really, really well. And then once you've cleared all that stuff, remember to place a rainbow shield around yourself. Now, it is energy. It will dissipate in about 12 hours or so. So you need to renew it. That rainbow shield, though, is every color has its own form of protection, right? And so all through your whole day, as you're going about your tasks and you're doing your things, it will fluctuate depending which color, which type of protection you need most in that moment. And so when you've asked Metatron to place the shield, then that is there and it does its fluctuating without you even being aware of it. You're not controlling it. It's doing its own thing. And it makes it so that other people and their energies and their thoughts and their emotions, you can still discern what those are. But you no longer, like now you have a shield, so it stops you from taking on their stuff. You're still aware, but it's not yours. And you're aware of that. You know it's not yours, so you don't take it on. Now, when we're in such a habit of always taking on people's stuff, sometimes we forget that the shield is there and we remove it so that we can take that stuff. If you become aware you've done that, just clear again, however you do it, scrubbing bubbles and Metatron and sage and selenite, whatever else, right? Just clear again and replace the rainbow shield. And then you can start fresh again. Right? So that's a really great way to do it and to get your perspective to change, because then now you're a little bit removed from all the emotion of the situation, and so you can have a clearer picture, and then you know better who's being served by what and who is not. And it's your business is how you are being served by what energy you've been doing, and what you're choosing to keep, what you're choosing to change. Okay, anyway, so you have this amazing magic. It's time to go now. So some of you have been really contemplating, like we were saying, these life changes. It's time now to make that decision. It's time. Like I said, like the angels were saying, you can choose to stay on your same path and go deeper into it, or you can choose a totally different path. But either way, it's time right now to make the decision, knowing that you'll be able to revisit it again in the future. You are always safe in that way. Use your own self as your guide, not other people. Easier said than done. Okay, it's time to start writing. It's time to start writing. You have a beautiful story to tell. Some of you, this writing, this will take the form of a diary, which is, for your eyes only. And that's perfect. That's beautiful. Do your writing however you choose to do it. By hand, by computer, whatever resonates most with you, right? Word processor, whatever it takes. Maybe you want to write it with, with some creative writing flair. Or maybe you want it in point form. What happened today? Done. Thankfully, it's the end of the day. Or you want to make it maybe into a story, like it's as though it's not your own, right? Whatever form it takes, get writing. Get writing. It will really, really assist you to clarify things, to get things in order in your thoughts, so that you can be much more confident of your direction, of what you're doing, of how you're doing it. It's time. It's time. I'm seeing notebooks. They're beautiful notebooks. Some of them are just very utilitarian. You bought at the dollar store. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're writing it on. Just do the writing and keep them safe, keep them secure. Those are yours. Some of you, this may lead to a book. It may lead to either a memoir or a fiction book or a self-help book, something like that. For some of you, you don't want that, nor do you need that. And so this writing is for yourself only. I do see you sharing it with one specific friend who could benefit from it, but that's all I see for some of you, right? Either way, all of this is magic. So everything that you're going through, and it does feel rather unsettled, the energy. It feels like these big choices, and it feels, some of you are so hesitant and don't really want the choices, knowing full well that you need the choices, right? But you have this magic. You have this magic that makes everything, if you could only see yourself and what you create the way others see you. And I know you've heard that before, but it's true. It's absolute true. It's not that your life looks like it's perfect or anything like that. You're the same as everybody else. We all have our things. But your ability to keep things positive, to keep things beautiful, to keep things on an even keel. You have that amazing ability, and don't you forget it. It's what they're saying. So you being your own self, interacting with people the way you naturally do, is your magic. You don't need to change anything. Yeah, you're beautiful. Okay, here, let's see what one last bit of wisdom your angels have to offer today. There you go. Release and surrender. Yeah, so it feels very much like that type of a moment for you, right? It's you've been digging deep. You're not sure what to do. It's a hard decision. Surrender to the thought of it. Surrender to the knowledge that all will be well. It'll maybe take some transition time and whatever, but everything is working out in the highest possible way it can. And you just need to surrender to that and say, okay, here I am. Let's do what's best. Let's just step forward. If I don't quite know what's best, well, I'm just stepping forward anyway, trusting that my angels have me. And that is truth. Okay. All right. Gemini, can you help me for a minute? Let's spread a whole bunch of love. It's what you're really, really good at. Spread a whole bunch of love all over the world. Just letting that be pure and clear and with full, amazing intention of only the best for everyone. Thank you so much. That's beautiful, Gemini. I appreciate you. I love you. And I will see you next week.